of the line there in number 1? You guys have it there where you can see it. So what is the slope of that line? Joey.
Negative 2/3.
Joey says it's a negative 2/3. Does everybody else agree with him?
Yes.
How'd you get it, Joey?
Well, I went from the y-intercept, then down 2, and then over 3.
So you came down 2 and over 3 because that's where your stairs would have connected?
Yeah.
Good job, bud.
Good job. Good job.
Or you could have went up.
Okay. Some people, this is Joey's way. Joey likes to go down, and that's fine. Others look at here's my intersection, and I go up and over, and they still have a negative, and that's either way is acceptable. Okay. If you draw those in, you can see that little stair step, can't you? See the stairs?
Yeah.
Okay. The other way would have been to subtract the differences, correct?
Yes.
Marissa, you need to sit up. You cannot lay down in my class. Okay? Good. Everybody understands that. What's the slope of number 2? What is the slope for number 2? What is it there, Austin?
I just saw you go over 1 up 2. I don't.
Okay, so you're going up and over, right?
Yeah.
So what's my slope then?
2.
2 over 1, or you could have called it a 2. Everybody agree with that?
Yes. Yeah.
Finding slope is relatively easy when you, especially if you have the picture. Do we agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, got a picture. Write an equation that represents each side of the figure. So I'm going to look right here, and we're going to start out with this piece right here. And we're going to write an equation for that piece. Okay? So before I can write the equation, don't I have to write the slope?
Yeah.
And I know if on that one that I have highlighted, what is the slope of that portion? Justin.
1/2.
Justin says my M is 1/2. Okay, I'm going to check. Okay, rise of 1 and a run of 2. I agree with you, Justin. Now, what else do I need to be able to write the equation? What else do I have to have there, Mr. Chase? And what's the y-intercept for that piece?
That would be a 3.
Y-intercept is 3. Everybody see that?
Yes. Yep.
At that I've got 0, 3. Okay, that's my y-intercept. Okay, what's the equation of my line? And the whole goal is to write slope-intercept form. So what's the slope-intercept equation for that line? What's it going to be, Annie? Good job. Absolutely correct. We're going to call that our A. Line A. Okay? Now it says for each, if I go back to my instructions, it says each side of the figure. So I need to write another one. So this time I'm going to look at, let's look at this piece. Okay? Going to look at the piece that I highlighted in the pink. Find the slope for the piece that's highlighted in the pink, Natalie. But what's that slope? Okay, what I heard, what you said is, and I'm assuming you're talking about that point. That point is 1, 2. I agree with that. But that's not my slope. What's the slope there? G?
2 over 1.
2 over 1. Why, G?
If you write 2
If you go, Natalie, if you go from here, is this point 0, 0?
Yes.
So if I was to subtract the difference, the change in y, 2 minus 0 is 2. 1 minus 0 is 1 for the change in x. Or, look here, G says go from that point, 1, 2, and over 1. Do you see it? Okay, so that's my slope. What's my y-intercept? What's the y-intercept, Mr. Ty?
0.
0. So what is the equation of that line? Justin?
Y equals 2x.
Y equals 2x. Is that all I need?
Yeah.
Sure is, because if I said plus 0, it's going to be in slope-intercept form, but the fact that I don't have anything there, it's still just fine, isn't it? Y equals 2x. All right, we've got 2 of them labeled. That's our line B. It doesn't get all of them, though, and it says I got to do them all. So, let's work with this piece. Now, I have a question for you. We're going to call this our line C. Are lines A and C parallel to each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you know about parallel lines?
So the same equation.
What do you know about parallel lines?
Same slope.
They have the same slope. Parallel lines are going to have the same slope. So for C, what is my slope? Doesn't it have to be 1/2?
Yep.
But now, what is my y-intercept? Will it be the same if they're parallel? No. But what's my y-intercept in this one? Annie?
0.
Y-intercept equals 0. I'm good with that. Okay. What's the equation of line C? What is that equation, Lily?
Y equals 1/2 x.
Nice job. Nice job. We've got one line left. And it's our line, we're going to call it line D. This is my D. So line D, is it parallel to line B?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yeah.
This one and this one, are they going to run parallel?
Yes.
Yes. So I know my slope has to be what? What's my slope, Ethan? Okay, look at it again. I've got an angle, it can't be 0, hon. If these two are parallel, then they have the same slope. But if I didn't know that, you should be able to find your slope here. What's the rise? And what's its run? Okay, so the slope has to be 2 to 1. Do you agree? What's the y-intercept? What's its y-intercept? Ty?
-3. No. It's 5 or 6.
5 or 6, but we don't know, and technically it doesn't intersect
Because it's a shape and the line stops.
because the line stops.
So it is 0?
Can't be 0.
Because the line stops, so it wouldn't be there.
And it wouldn't be the same thing as y equals 2x, would it?
No.
So I am going to have to find out what b is, aren't I?
Yeah.
Can I make guesses?
No.
You can just.
5.
You're pretty sure it's 5.
If you follow this, if you use the follow the line up, it's 5. Yeah, when it stops, it's
I'm pretty sure it's -3.
That's the x-intercept. Not y. I'm stupid, so.
Well,
Three.
no, you're
Rock your
not.
voice.
I don't wanna hear that. Nobody in this classroom is stupid.
Yeah, it's high.
We don't call ourselves that in here. No
Yeah.
way, no how. Give me this.
Forever.
Oh, come on. That's what I want, right there. Yeah. I don't know that that's gonna intersect at 5.
Six.
My pencil was off.
Is it gonna be 6?
I'm pretty sure it's six.
Okay, okay, all right, now let's hang on.
One of the girls in here, they might be able to figure
If-
it out.
You know what, I bet we can figure it out. We're saying maybe 6,
What is that?
okay? All right, so if that was true, would you agree this would be y equals
Yes,
2x plus 6, right?
Yeah.
It's a little thing, and I think
Now.
it's the size of a square, so I think it is 6.
Well, I'm gonna test this. If this is the true equation, if y is 0, we would find our x-intercept, am I right? So according to the graph, the x-intercept has to be a -3. Do you agree? Okay, so 0 equals 2x plus 6. 6 equals 2x. X equals 3. Something's wrong because that's not -3.
Maybe it's a -6.
Maybe.
How is it -6? It's only 5.
It's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
How's it 5?
Okay.
It's a mystery.
What if, guys, what if I go from here? Look here, I'm gonna take and get rid of all that. We already know that's wrong, right? We know the equation, y equals mx plus b, right? Okay? And we know if we're looking for a y-intercept, x has to be 0, right? We're looking for the y-intercept though. I know an x value. Now wait a minute, when we're looking for that y-intercept, you'd have 0 something for the y, right? And you'd have something 0 for the x-intercept, right? Okay? Just go with me here.
Just get a graphing and stuff over here.
I know my slope is 2. I know my x-intercept. My brain just went out again. You gotta see my picture again.
I don't think so.
We have parallel lines. We know that has to be a 2, and that will be checked. We're rising 2 and running 1 every time, correct?
Yes.
Okay, this is at a 2, do you agree?
Yeah, 7.
1, 2. If we rise 2 and run 1, if we rise 2 from 4 and run 1, we get
6. What is this?
Oh, I was right.
And why did
I
that
was -3.
work? It does have to be 6, I agree.
Oh, I was.
Why
Your
did we just do
equation-
it at the start?
How'd you even get that?
I don't know, how did I mess up a minute ago?
I don't know. Mistakes
I should have
happen.
just got a graphing calculator.
We don't have, well, unless you grab the Chrome. That does have to go through at 6. Absolutely has to, because here's my step to here, and I'd go up to here and rise 2, 4 plus 2 is 6, so the y-intercept is gonna have to be at 6, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So our equation then, y equals 2x plus 6 has to be correct.
Your equation thing that you did was run on it.
Yeah, when I plugged in pieces, it didn't work. And I know why. Because, I know why. This point is what point?
-3.
-3, why?
Yeah.
Plug those into the equation. What's -3 times 2?
-6.
Plus 6 is,
0.
so it fits. I didn't plug it in right a while ago, sorry. That was my fault. You were correct,
We all make mistakes.
okay? Do you see how we're gonna write these though? Look at the next one. I want A, B, C, and D. Write the equations of those lines, A, B, C. You're writing them on your own. Yeah, I meant to do that,
Well, it's been a wacky Wednesday. That's what we're gonna call it today, Mrs. Register.
yeah, I
It's a
did
beautiful
mean to.
day though. It's okay.
Oh, it's supposed to snow day today.
Yep.
Put it on there, and then I just.
Yeah,
Wacky
we only got an
Wednesday.
inch of snow. Calm down.
I got it.
When you get the equation for A, give me a thumbs up. Let's see if everybody gets there. I want the equation for A. Okay, and I'm gonna go. Yes, I agree. Good, good. And you can drop the one there in front if you wanted to, okay? You can leave it, it doesn't hurt. But just know that you wouldn't normally see it there, okay? But you got it.
Your answer.
So why you choose what?
What'd you get?
You know, you don't say anything, Tom.
Yeah.
M times X, right? So y equals X plus Y. You got it right there. That's your first one, okay? You see your A. I agree. Yes, I had to find it on your paper. Well, that's your slope. Now write the equation now. You got it. Write the equation. You got everything you need
I
right
think
there.
I'm right.
You don't know that?
I got the power bank. Yeah, this. Yeah, Mom, sorry.
So y equals what? Y equals mx, which is 1x, right? Okay, that's what you wanna write, so go ahead and write it. So you said the slope is 1, so y equals 1. Get it? 1x plus, what'd you say the y intercept was? Got it? That's it, that is it. Find each of those pieces for B and then plug in the equation. I know this is right, I haven't done the others yet.
Okay.
Because I stopped to teach. Okay, you got the two pieces. Now write it in y equals mx plus b formula. You got it. This one here is y equals x plus 1. Some of you are right putting a 1 in front of that. Some of you are saying 2 over 2. Isn't 2 over 2 simplified to 1?
Yep.
Okay? That's perfect. Go on. find the slope in B, find the y-intercept, and write the equation. Is the slope of B a -1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes off negative, right?
Yeah.
So I got that part. The y-intercept then, if I know my slope is a -1, I'm gonna go up and over, that would be at 4, do you agree?
Yeah.
And up and over again is gonna give me a
5.
5. So what is the equation for B? What is that equation? G.
Y equals 1x plus 5.
Y equals -x plus 5.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Okay? Keep going. You gotta do C. Gotta do C. Slope.
This one was more confusing than the other one because it's just
Cody's not here today.
because it's ones and it confuses me.
Am I correct in saying the slope is either a 1 or a -1 on every one of these?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know that A and C are parallel. So this slope has to be, M has to equal 1. Do you agree?
Yes.
And I know on D, these two are parallel. So this slope has to be that. Do we agree with that? I got that far.
Yeah.
There it is. Got one of them.
She's the hardest one.
C's the hardest one, they say.
Maybe for you.
No.
I mean, I got it. I'm just saying, the hardest one out of all.
What's it gonna be? What's the y-intercept in C? What's it gonna be, Mr. Ty? Blur? Huh? Never mind, he says. What's C going to be? Whatever you've got, get rid of it. I'm tired of seeing it. What's C gonna be, bud? Or what's the B gonna be on C?
-5.
Joey says -5. Do you agree with him?
Yes.
I do too. I do too. Because if I go down 1 and over 1, I'd be at -3. Down 1 and over 1, I'd be at -4. Down 1 and over 1, I'd intersect at -5. Absolutely correct. Nice job. This is what we're doing today. Write an equation. Look, they're giving you the slope even.
Oh, that's easy.
Write the equation.
Don't you like nothing?
Okay. What is the slope on this one, Marissa? It gives it to us. What is it? What is the slope, honey? How much does it change on the y? It's got the number there even. 3. And how much is it changing on the x? How much is it changing on the x? It's there. 2. And is it a positive or negative slope? Negative. Good. What's the y-intercept? What is the y-intercept in this one, Grace? Look right here. What's the y-intercept? 5. Good. Now, write the line. Can you write the line for me, Grace? Can you tell me what to write? Y equals what? got it. Absolutely correct. Always find these two pieces, the slope and the y-intercept, plug them in. Remember, that main equation, y equals mx plus b, that's my slope-intercept formula. Find the slope, find the intercept, plug it in.
They do weird. It got me confused because I thought it was 2/3 at first because it does the over first and it gets me because I usually do the up and down first.
And you just have to know that it's the change in y, so you always look at the y first over the change in x. Okay? Write an equation in slope-intercept formula. We're going to call this our A because I don't know if they're numbered on your paper, but right here they're not. So we've got an A and B. Write A in the slope-intercept formula. I agree. You got it, Austin? Tell me what I write.
Y equals -2 over 1 plus 2.
Okay, I want you to look at it, Austin. You're really close. My line's going this way. Are you sure it's a -2?
Oh, that's positive.
Okay, y equals 2x plus, what'd you tell me?
2 over 1 x plus 2.
There you go, absolutely correct. Awesome job. We know everything has to be y equals something. So what is the second one? What is b? Y equals what? Yeah, look at them. You guys are got
These
this.
are easy for me.
On A,
Yes?
is it X? I know it's a 1, but don't you keep the slope?
I sure can. You mean, do I want to write it like this?
I remember you saying something like you have to keep it like that.
Yes, I can. Okay, only because it helps me when I'm graphing. Yes. G. What is B?
Y equals -4/3 plus -1. X plus
Does everybody agree with G?
yes.
All right, let me look at something here. We may, I just want to verify. We're still doing the same stuff. Yeah, that is your assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also that we're
Too little.
Shh.